invite you to call about that today. Mostly going to be talking about that in the 5 o'clock hour, but you're welcome to call whenever you want. Family 520 KJLH 520-5554. That's the number. Uh, it's just a huge, huge loss to our city and to our hip hop nation. And I think my challenge, aside from opening up the space for you to grieve and meet and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. My challenge is for us to recycle black dollars and build community because, there's a lot of things that can be said about the life of Nipsey Hussle. Nobody can deny that he did that. He was doing that. Building black wealth, building community, building opportunity, creating jobs, not just looking for a job, but making jobs, recycling black dollars. And so that's my challenge to us. If you feel sad or mad or another kind of way, my challenge to you this morning, along with our dedication of today's show, let's recycle some black dollars. It's New Media Monday also. We start out our day almost every Monday talking about what's new in tech, and we are checking in with Miles Blockson, who is our tech correspondent here on the front page. Good morning, Miles.
Good morning, Dominique.
So, happy Monday. It's not the happiest Monday here in the Southland. A lot of people really feeling the loss of Nipsey Hussle. And as I said, we're going to be opening up the phone lines about that. And I don't want to help make somebody famous that's just looking for fame or infamy or whatever. But in some kind of weird way, social media did play a role in this murder. So if we can touch on that without giving any names out or, Instagram handles or whatever, just talk about it. I mean, it kind of, even though that might seem like an extreme comparison, it reminds me a little bit of New Zealand in the way that there's just evil tidings playing out on social media.
No, absolutely. I definitely see the comparison. And with this, I mean, we both ran across an Instagram live of someone claiming to have shot and killed Nipsey Hussle. And when you sent it to me, I immediately thought, like, this is somebody that's looking for, for the attention. They're seeking the attention. But this can't go on. People posting on social media that they did something that they didn't do just to get the views and the likes. This is where social media turns into something that we don't want to see anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just no longer helpful to our society when people are saying, I did this and I did that, and it's almost gloating about the act.
Right, and
online.
whether they did it or they didn't do it, you don't know, you can't verify that. But that, like you said, using social media as a means to create more problems. I mean, look, we know that the LAPD knows, who did this. We know that, you don't have to take matters into your own hands, right? And so to me, and I've seen this before on social media where people use social media to try to create war in the community or try to create, problems for individual people in order to make themselves famous or glorify themselves.
Yeah, and this is just not the right way to do it, Dominique. It really isn't, and it plays, to me, I'm also hurting over here. I feel like it plays with people's emotions, you know what I mean? And it's already a really tense, sad situation. So if he did or did not do it, there's no reason to use, the platform to put that information out there. To gloat like that, it's almost taunting, people with that information. Yeah. And, you watched the video just as I did. The guy he didn't feel sorry about it. He didn't exude any of those characteristics. He seemed like, I just want attention, and I'm online, and I want everybody to know that I did this. So.
Yeah, and whoever he was talking to, you know, kind of just followed up and make sure, in case he did do it, that he did a full confession on camera, which was interesting. But I guess my question here is, because I don't want to spread that around more, is like, how do you, when you see something like that on social media, how are you meant to react to it? Obviously you don't like it, you don't follow the person, you don't, encourage um, the drama. How are we individually supposed to react to it, and then how are those platforms supposed to react to it? Because I know, like, Facebook tried to take down all that New Zealand video with marginal success.
Right. I feel like we're still trying to figure that out, how to react to something like this on social media. I mean, this is where we're getting the majority of our news from. I remember when I first saw it come across my Instagram feed, I was like, oh, this person never posts other people. Why is he posting Nipsey Hussle? So I immediately, just me, I immediately go online and Google Nipsey Hussle to see what comes up, and there's like 10 or 15 stories out there. So that's how I fact check and I validate my information. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I didn't know how to feel because you get that information so quickly. It's not coming from another person. In my case, it's coming from online. So I think that we're still learning how to just process information when we're given it, when it's given to us like that, in that way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anytime I go on Twitter and I see someone trending, I think that they passed away, even if it's their birthday or something. It's just an automatic thing. It's like, oh no. And I don't think we do. I think this is a new territory. I know you have to go, Miles, but a lot of people are calling really first thing in the morning wanting to talk about Nipsey Hussle. You want to stay on the line with me for a second?
Yes, for sure. Let's do it.
All right, let's go to Rich on the 14th freeway. Good morning, Rich.
Good morning, Dominique. I'm real saddened with this one because Nip's a good guy, man, and he's doing exactly what the front page was set out to do: establish businesses in the neighborhood. He giving back. Normally no celebrities give back. He gave back, but they took him out. So we don't know the situation yet, but it's just real sad. And my condolences go out to his family, and it kind of set me back. I like that little dude, man. It's good too.
Yeah, it set me back, as you say, quite a bit, too. I only met Nipsey Hussle one time at his store. He was very kind to me. But it wasn't just about me. It was about the community and what was happening there on Slauson and Crenshaw with, the businesses that were getting built out, the fish store, the barber shop, the smart store,
Burger place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like you said, doing what we ask people to do, buying property, building businesses, employing individuals, creating commerce, creating opportunity in the community. Given that the little young guy, Idris Sandu, his shot at building out the store, young guy he just met in a Starbucks. I mean, that's what we ask. That's what we're asking of not just our celebrities, but our young people. And so I feel like, for many
One
reasons.
question for you, Dominique.
Yeah.
Is that going in the future going to make it harder for people to really give back? Because it's dangerous out here for black people, period. And plus, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, you worry about getting robbed. I mean, that's a bad thing,
You know what? I didn't think about that. I think I don't think so. I hope that that's not true. I mean, we know, Nipsey Hussle had his own past and his own, you know,
Right.
his own
I know cats from his neighborhood.
things
Yeah,
to
my
overcome.
neighborhood.
He had his own things that he had to overcome. And I think he tweeted shortly before he died something like, it's good to have powerful enemies. I can't remember the exact quote, something like that.
Wow, that's crazy.
So he knew something was up, but hopefully it won't have that effect. I don't know. I do feel like, and a lot of people are talking about Dr. Sabi, that,
Yeah, I heard about
that
that
Nipsey
documentary.
was
He did a
working
nice
on
job.
this documentary about Dr. Sabi, and maybe this has something to do. We don't know. That's all speculation. But I think we have to challenge ourselves to stand in the gap when it comes to, the community building that young man was doing.
Yeah, he really was a hustler. Shout out to him.
Yeah, no
All right,
doubt.
no doubt.
All right, Hotep, 4:48 in the morning. We're going to go to Serena from Los Angeles. Hi, Serena.
Hi, good morning, and blessings to all of us. because I'm tired of this. Every time we hear about our young people trying to grow to do better, it's like, why would you want to take somebody's life who want to do something for you? It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. And so many blessings and hugs and kisses to his family, but what are we going to do with Stevie Wonder and India? When we going to love each other? When we going to say this is enough? When are we? Because right now my heart is broken because I live just around the corner from Slauson Crenshaw.
Yeah, it's a really sad day.
And it just hurts because it's just a young person trying to bring up the community. And it's like, here we go again. Somebody doesn't want to grow. If you don't want to grow, there's a place called Inglewood Cemetery. Grab yourself a coffin and you just lay there. You just lay there. If you don't want to grow, you go somewhere where you can stay stagnant. But for us, let us grow to be better because we already got the police, our government trying to kill us. I understand you want the person who killed him. I got one thing to say. If you want the chain around your neck, you know where to go. Washington, D.C., knock on the door. Do you know Mr. Orange's face? And say, I want to be your slave. Just do that. Do that. Or go where? To Virginia or something and go knocking on the door.
All right, Serena. I feel your pain, and I mean, I've been on the phone with people and people texting and calling, and people are hurt in so many ways, and for so many reasons. But I think, you make an interesting point when you bring up our enslavement, and at the, risk of sounding like I'm doing too much. I do think that when you talk about us tearing each other down, our destruction, our self-destruction, as KRS-One would say, that is part of post-traumatic slave syndrome. It is what we've been taught to do, to be crabs in a barrel, to tear each other down, to stop our own progress. And that's what consciousness is for, to uplift us in that sense, of being able to, it's what Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds, and so I think you're channeling the pain that a lot of people are feeling. Miles, I want to bring you back into the conversation here for a moment. One of the things that Nipsey Hussle did, and when the time that I met him was at the grand opening of the Marathon store, his store right there on Slauson and Crenshaw, which was billed as a smart store because he had worked with the young man Idris Sandu, create an app where you could, take your phone and scan this little thing that was sort of like a QR code and get information about music, or you could download music and you could listen to it while you were in the store. Those were unreleased tracks. Then as soon as you left the store, you would no longer have the ability to hear that music, but you could hear it in the store while you were there, and you could get information about the different products that were being sold. How cutting edge is that? Where would you place that in your tech world?
That's major. I mean, to me, I remember when you actually went to the store and you told me about the technology that he had put in the store, and I was like, that's crazy. I've never even thought of something like that, integrating technology into your shopping experience, but not into just the shopping experience overall. But I remember, people actually scanning, like you said, the QR codes on the clothing. And that was going to provide them with some type of, bonus music that no one had ever heard. There was different things that he was doing, and it was just so forward-thinking. And for him to put that where he grew up, I think that speaks volumes. And that's very high on the tech radar because I can't walk into, Neiman's or Nordstrom's right now and scan a QR code on a shirt and get, some special benefits. So I think he was way ahead of his time with that thinking, in his store.
Yeah, and I remember when I interviewed Idris Sandu, the young man who, developed that for him, and he told the story of how he met Nipsey at a Starbucks, literally talked to him, and Nipsey was like, oh, well, I'm going to give this young man a shot. What can you do? And that's also powerful because we talk about, how other communities give each other the hand up and we don't look out for each other. And I think we do. It's just that we don't always hear about the ways in which we are looking out for each other.
Absolutely. I mean, and you also know about, like, his STEM schools that he was putting out there in the inner cities as well, science, technology, engineering, and math initiatives that he had going. I mean, I heard him talk about it in a lot of different interviews during, his last album run. So he was just very much self-worth.
Yeah, Miles, talk a little more about that for folks that don't know. I mean, we know what STEM is, but talk about, what he was trying to do. Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, he was basically trying to put schools across America. I mean, starting, of course, with Los Angeles, but he was trying to put the STEM programs in these inner city schools because he knows that we know that there's a lack of diversity, when it comes to technology, like working in the tech world. I've been in the tech world for probably about 7 or 8 years now, and every time I walk into an office, if I'm not the only African-American woman, there might be just one more, or there might be 2 African-American males that work there in my office that I'm currently in. That's how it is. So he saw the importance, of, getting kids of color into these programs so that they could be successful in the future. And like I said, that also speaks volumes about where his mindset was, compared to other people, other artists that have this big platform and what they're actually using it for. He was using it for something great.
Yeah. Well, Miles, I know you got to go. I thank you for joining us on a New Media Monday. We got more to talk about. We'll just have to put it on pause till the next time because we really want to dedicate today's show to Nipsey and give people a chance to, say what's on their mind this morning.
Well, thank you, Dominique.
And remind us once again how we can follow you.
At Miles Tomogul, that's MilesTomogul on Instagram and online.
All right, Miles. Have a great day, and thank you, as always, for your New Media Monday insights.
Thank you, too, Dominique.
We're going to go to Keisha from Paramount. Good morning, Keisha. You're on the radio. Keisha? Are you still there? You with me, Keisha? Testing, 1, 2.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
Good morning. I'm blessed. I'm sad, too, though. I'm sad.
My heart is broken.
Yeah.
I'm just so saddened by this loss, and I just want to send my condolences out to his family.
Yes.
And just speak on how, all the positive things he was doing, in the community. And I was really fond of him and the things that he was doing, his mission, his music. And I'm just saddened by the loss.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you called because I think part of what we have to do is, share right now. Because, I just was walking down the street yesterday and people were so hurt.
Yeah. Even at work last night, I had people at work that were just like out of it because, we couldn't get any news or anything while we were working. And we were just sad, just wanting to know any kind of information.
Yeah. Well, we do have an update coming in the 5 o'clock hour. Some folks that are, working on the situation that can give us a bit of an update. But yeah, I think you're right. I think, I felt this sad. I felt this as a blow to him individually, to his family, but I also felt it as a blow to Los Angeles. You know what I mean? To our larger family, to our black community, and to our hip-hop nation.
Absolutely. I just also, a lot of the things that were going on social media, people want to be so quick to relate everything to the game, pointing in the direction of the game, this and that. I just think we need to wait. Let's just wait and see, what happens and what comes out of this. I don't want to, say anything that's going to cause any more pain in the Los Angeles area, because this gang stuff is serious. It's really serious. And things can get pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the inside story. And I think you're right, Keisha. One of the biggest things that I do know from having been married to the gang czar, the deputy mayor of, gang reduction and youth development, and from my own work in the urban peace movement, which predates that, going way back to when I first got here, is that rumors are what cause the most problems. When we start speculating and saying we think this happened and we think that happened and spreading something we heard from someone else that later turns out not to be true, and people can get, hurt behind that. So I'm always really careful not to speak on situations like this with information that I'm not 100% sure about. Reminds me of what Neely Fuller says. What we know for sure is Nipsey Hussle is no longer with us. We know that for sure. And we know it's a big loss to the community. We know what he was doing in his life. We know that a suspect has been identified. That is what we know so far. And speaking of, when I first came to LA and the work that I started to do and continue to support in the urban peace movement, my friend Cornell, we call him LA Nut, is on the phone, and he's been working on this intervention, prevention, peace work for decades, I'm going to say. Good morning, Nut. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Dominique and KJLH family?
Thank you for
Wow.
checking in. Skip and I think another person are on their way.
Oh, yeah. Wow. It was, this is crazy.
It really is.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. When we heard about it, the first thing I had thought about is, Russell Westbrook does a Thanksgiving thing at Jesse Owens at the park every year at for the community. And I think it was maybe about a year or so ago, a couple of years, and Nipsey came up here. And, the intelligence he had was just phenomenal about working in the inner city and the stuff that he was going to do. And he wanted our communities to be a part of that. And his music, went across the boundaries of all the gang stuff. So, LA is really feeling his loss. And I think it'll be, we'll feel his loss in about a year to come of the projects that he had that, will probably go down the drain now that he's gone if there's no one to step in to fill his shoes. It's really a call to LA rappers like, somebody got to pick up the torch what this man was doing, because he was clearly invested in his community across the board. And with the kids, that's where it started. That's what he knew.
Yeah, I feel like it's a call to LA rappers, but also to everyday people, right? Because all of us can recycle black dollars. All of us can do more than what we do, right? I mean, all of us can make sure we buy black, can mentor a kid, can support an organization like the one that you have, and so we don't have to wait for some rich person to come along and save us. I think it's also it's a wake up call to all of us. I know that Nipsey Hussle's family, Sam and the others, they do a lot of the day to day in terms of running the store and that kind of stuff. And I'm sure they'll probably try to keep as much of it going as they can. But I think, we're going to have to step up individually.
Yes, it's definitely a call to the black community that, we can't let this knowledge that this young man had go to waste and what he was trying to get done for our kids, because, we something has to be done because our kids are suffering, and this would be a wake-up call that, something can happen to you at any time. It doesn't matter about the level of success that you come across in life, because, the politics of the streets is here, and it's affecting everybody's life, because this guy here was ahead of his time, as your But I was just saying that he was ahead of his time with everything that was going on. So, my condolences to the Crenshaw district, his family, LA in general. Like, this is really terrible. That guy he had a heart that was really, really big, and it's just a terrible issue.
Yeah, it is. We're joined in studio right now, not by someone you know. He's an intervention specialist with Second Call. Second Call, community-based organization designed to help in the personal development of individuals who are at-risk youth. Skip Townsend, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in. That's Nut on the phone.
Hey, what's going on, Nat? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Skip? How you doing, brother? God bless you.
Yes, sir. Much love and respect, brother.
Wow, this is really terrible.
Yeah, it does feel really terrible. I mean, it does. It feels like, and it's weird because I've been in LA for a long time now, and a lot of things, I mean, you deal, Skip, and also with people, us losing people all the time. I mean, and I don't feel like it's just because this man is a celebrity. I feel like it has to do with the fact that, people look at a young person who comes from nothing and is able to build and own property and employ others and get international acclaim with the Grammy Awards and things. And it represents more than just the celebrity in terms of LA, in terms of hip hop, and in terms of youth culture.
I think one of the things, Dominique, is that most people that come from LA, they look for a way out. And Nipsey didn't look for a way out. He didn't look to move. He looked to improve. He could have very easily been up in the hills somewhere, and like most other celebrities, from LA, they're not reachable. You have to find someone to find someone to find someone to get in touch with them.
Yeah.
But Nipsey was right here on Slauson, and that's the thing that made him unique is, it didn't take a certain amount of money, and he says, well, I'm going to move when I get this amount. It didn't take the nomination for, a Grammy for him to say, well, I'm going to move. It didn't take anything. He stayed. So hats off to him that he wanted to improve the community and not just represent it from the hood, the hills of Hollywood.
Yeah. So, talk to me. I'm not getting a lot of new news on this, but I know there's a lot of speculation. There was a social media post that was going around. By the way, it's Radio Free 102.3 KJLH, Compton, Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Inglewood. Then TMZ picked up on that post and put it up on their site. It's a lot of conversation. People are talking about Dr. Sabi,
Right,
the holistic health practitioner who died under mysterious circumstances in Honduras after having been robbed of $30,000 in cash.
Right. So to my knowledge, and I could just say, by being a part of the GRID program and
Gang reduction and youth development.
yes, for the city of Los Angeles for so many years, I have relationships, and most of my phone calls that come to me come from LAPD. And I was receiving phone calls immediately after it happened that there was video, there was tape, there's a confrontation with a young man, and they pretty much know who they're looking for. So it's not some big scientific theory or whatever's going on. And I do understand that he, being Nipsey, had a documentary that he's working on, highlighting the life of Dr. Sabi, and probably Dr. Rab too would have to have something to do with it, but that has nothing to do with his, from what I understand. And one of the things as an interventionist is to do rumor control,
Right.
and we put the rumors, we stop the rumors from spreading, and yeah, that's just one rumor that has gone international.
Well, I think one of the reasons why people are talking about Dr. Sabi, aside from the fact that Nipsey Hussle was doing a documentary about him, Dr. Sabi was always a controversial figure. He was, he went to court several times against the Food and Drug Administration. He would make claims that he could cure AIDS and things, which you're not supposed to do, and he did not care.
Right.
And I think people are looking for meaning in the death of Nipsey Hussle. We just don't want it to be a more senseless crime in the community.
But that's one of the things that happens in our community is we look to hide stuff, and just to be completely honest, our children are killing our children. The victims and suspect come out of our homes. So this is another case of No conspiracy, no theory. This is just pure ignorance. This is ignorance where, the ego and pride of one individual leads to that person wanting to take the life of others and not have a value to it. So it's pure ignorance, and it's nothing, out in space or anything like that. It's just pure ignorance.
Yeah, it's if you part of that community, then the basic information that's the like you said, it's video, it's stuff that's going on, and that's just the situation of the streets. Me personally, I wish he, could have advanced a little bit more, and when dealing with people walking in his store because the store is open like that, like other people or something, to prevent something like that. But you can't stop God's plan. When it's your time, it's your time. But Nipsey was a person that was, he spoke his truth, because he'd been through so much. You know what I'm saying? He didn't turn his back on his people. He made his voice clear in his area. He knew what he wanted to do in his area. And, when your door is open, people coming with an agenda, whether that agenda is right, whether it's wrong, if he's there, he's going to deal with it, and unfortunately, this is the outcome of somebody with a misconstrued mind, that, obviously, is some situation you just have to, it'll be unraveled, later on down in life, but the problem is that, we as people that grow up in these communities, we have to learn how to deal with situations when somebody is like Nipsey that crosses the threshold of life like that, man. It's just, you want this guy should have died around his grandkids, He should have never have left this earth in a situation like that. And it's tearing us up, like, why?
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are asking. Now, talk to me just quickly, because so many people want to speak this morning about your organization. Because I think one of the things we have to do is support organizations like work you're doing in the community, work Skip is doing in the community. That's part of the solution, right? Is for us to step up and stand in the gap.
Yeah, the thing about me, Dominique, is that, I really don't have an organization. My organization was with Unity One, as Skip knows. We was just at James Ingram funeral together. That was a brother of ours,
Best of us,
and,
James.
James just as well. He was with us daily.
Yes, he was in the trenches for real.
He was in the trenches with us back in the day. My thing is just prevention. My thing is saving the lives of kids and children, not misleading them, not giving them bogus information, letting them know exactly what could happen. You feel me?
Yep, I do.
And where you will go in life if you do not straighten up. You will have a jail record. You will go to prison. You may end up dead. You feel me? That's my thing. Is just, and I work out of Jesse Owens Park, in that area, and I've been doing it for 25, 30 years, just as long as you've been. Since '94, when I met you at the Bonaventure Hotel. So,
that's right.
You've been day one. You feel me? So, but yeah, that's the call. Snoop said it a long time ago. When you grow up and become a man, you have to put stuff down. You can't do the childish things anymore. And this man's death should be an eye-opener to everyone. Like, the streets is nothing to play with.
Yeah. All right, Ned, it's good to hear from you. Continuing our conversation, family, 520-KJLH, 520-5554, inviting you to call in and share, to vent, whatever it is you need to do. Skip Townsend is here, I'm here, and your whole KJLH family is here.
And now, headlines for higher minds. A front page news brief with Dominique DePrimo.
It's the 1st of April, 2019. Alafia, that means peace. Black Panther was a big winner at the 50th annual NAACP Image Awards on Saturday night. The Ryan Coogler-directed Marvel film earned 14 nominations, proving its power during the star-studded event. Chadwick Boseman won the first award of the night for Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture for his role as T'Challa. He shouted out Howard University. And Michael B. Jordan picked up the prize for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture. Denai Guerrera beat out her co-stars Lupita Nyong'o and Letitia Wright for Outstanding Supporting Actress. But Wright did get the trophy for Outstanding Breakthrough Performance in a Motion Picture for her role as Princess Shuri. Black Panther also winning for Outstanding Ensemble Cast in a Motion Picture, and finishing off the night winning Outstanding Motion Picture of the Year. That's from thegrio.com. After the revelation that the National Enquirer obtained personal images and messages between Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, the Amazon CEO ordered a thorough investigation to figure out how it could have happened. Writing in the Daily Beast, Bezos' security consultant, Gavin DeBecker, says that he and his team concluded with high confidence that Saudi officials had access to the phone of the world's richest man. Becker emphasized that it was unclear to what degree, if any, that was a collaboration between the and Saudi Arabian officials. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. Saudi Arabia, of course, has been accused of the murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who worked for the Washington Post. So there is definitely a connection. 750,000 people would likely lose their food stamps later this year under a new proposal by the Trump administration. The goal is to encourage able-bodied adults to go to work and get off government aids, but opponents predict people would go hungry instead if the rule goes into effect. The public comment period, which ends tomorrow, has so far drawn more than 28,000 comments, overwhelmingly against that proposal. And Joe Biden scrambling Sunday to contain a growing crisis for his likely presidential, putting forward several former female aides and allies to praise his treatment of women after Lucy Flores, a former Nevada legislator, accused Biden of kissing and touching her. Meanwhile, in L.A., fight at Dodger Stadium parking lot during Friday night's game left a 47-year-old man with critical injuries. L.A. police say 2 men got involved in an argument before one of them got punched once and fell to the ground. The victim, a father of 4, suffered a fractured skull and is on life support, his wife identifying him as Rafael Reina. In sports, the Auburn Tigers beat the Kentucky Wildcats, the Auburn making it to its first Final Four in school history, and Michigan over the Blue Devils. Michigan State upsetting the tournament favorite Duke to make it to the Final Four. NBA action, the Lakers beat the Pelicans, the Lakers, Clippers over the Grizzlies, and the Kings beat the Spurs, of course, the Warriors slobbering the Charlotte Hornets. Cloudy today, but warm. Highs right around 80, right now 58 degrees in the city of Inglewood. I'm Dominique DePrimo for Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Find your greatness. The front page. Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Rhymes are wasted. Niggas doing so much hate. And free your heart and show your greatness. I, like you, had to come from up under the basement. Just like you, had Satan trying my patience.
Announcing a giant used car sale at Worthington Ford with over 600 vehicles on sale and everyone is under warranty. Plus, get a 10-day trial exchange included with your purchase. Pick a car, pick a truck, drive it 10 days and make sure you like it. Choose from the largest selection in town. Find a car you love and drive it home with just $95 down. That's right, pick any car on the lot, new or used, and $95 down is all it takes. Worthington Ford works with hundreds of lenders, including their own finance company, to get you financed. They own the bank, so they can finance anyone they want to. With over 600 vehicles on sale and everyone is under warranty. Plus, get a 10-day trial exchange included with your purchase. Pick a car, pick a truck, drive it 10 days, and make sure you like it. This is a giant used car sale going on now at Worthington Ford in Long Beach. Huge selection, huge savings, right off the 405 freeway, Bellflower Boulevard in Long Beach. And they're open until midnight. 10-day trial exchange on conditions. Details.
Attention homeowners, it's me, Donna Prima. Due to price increases in the home improvement industry, Michael Joseph has started a new division to offer better prices. You'll save thousands of dollars. Michael offers exterior coating that comes with a lifetime warranty against chipping, flaking, and peeling. They repair all the stucco and all the wood trim before applying the exterior coating. Believe me, you'll never have to paint again. Call 866-750-8011. Michael offers high-performance, energy-efficient, noise reduction, vinyl windows, and patio doors. He has high-quality roofing systems to keep this rain out, central heating and air conditioning, and the savings program designed to reduce pricing. Call 866-750-8011. 100% financing is available. 100%. Dynamic financing solutions, including the County Pays program and traditional loans. If they can't get you approved, nobody can. Let's get this done. Call 866-750-8011 or visit newbirthbuilders.com. That's newbirthbuilders.com.
The city of Inglewood is proud to present the Earth Day Music Festival, Saturday, April 20th. This free event starts at 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. at City Hall, South Lawn, off West Manchester Boulevard in Inglewood. Come out for a beautiful day filled with activities and fun for the entire family. There'll be a food court area, environmental information booth. This year's theme is protect and respect the environment. There'll be free live performances by Shanice Kitty Lattimore, Club Nouveau, Eric Benet, Confunction, Susie Henson's Latin Band, and Philip Law. I'm Guy Black. Join me as I host the Earth Day Music Festival, Saturday, April 20th, starting at 10 a.m. on Inglewood City Hall. This environmental event is free with performances from Philip Law, Susie Henson's Latin Band, Shanice Kitty Lattimore, Club Nouveau, Eric Benet, and Confunction. Sponsored by the City of Inglewood, West Basin Municipal Water District, Consolidated Disposal Service, Clippers Arena, Inglewood, and 102.3 KJLH.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Generic sildenafil allows you to save up to $650 on Viagra. Why pay name brand prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get the same results for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 50 generic sildenafil pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $750 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill for the name brand again. Get generic sildenafil for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-372-6769 today and save up to $650 and get 50 pills for just $99. Generic sildenafil is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Call 800-372-6769. That's 800-372-6769. Again, 800-372-6769.
The original from university. This is the front page on Radio Free, 102.3, KJLH.
Cause when words come to worst, my peoples come first. So if you ain't bustin' down, please disperse. Please disperse. Please disperse. I knew I never should.
Radio freedom, that means we can talk about it. We can be frank. We can share. It means this is your town meeting, your town square on the air every day. Skip Townsend is with me. His organization is Second Call. They do a lot of good things, helping at-risk youth, helping the community, and also working with the City of Los Angeles Intervention Prevention. You talked about rumor control. Nipsey Hussle, for those just tuning in, was shot dead in front of his store, a Marathon store on Slauson and Crenshaw on yesterday. 2 other people were wounded, and there's not a lot more than that's been released to the public. There's a lot of rumors going on, and we talked about people talking about Dr. Sabi, this guy who posted something on social media, and you and I have talked about the impact of social media on these streets before. So How do you process that when people start talking about stuff, either gangbanging on social media, or in this case, this guy's trying to take credit, if you will,
Right.
for this murder?
So what I've actually learned just over the last couple of years is this thing called trolls. There are people who just sit on social media and troll. They troll the internet looking for stories, and I believe I heard you and someone else talk about the fact that they just want to have some sort of recognition. They want people to, get as many followers as they can, and create controversy. And but what is really important is how many real people there were out there that was not concerned. I saw other people that I've known for years that not didn't do anything stupid like say they did it, but just show that they were not concerned that he had passed or that he had even been shot. Just that type of what is the word, apathy, I guess it is,
Yeah.
to not really care about the things that are going on in the community if it doesn't happen to them. That's where my concern went to, because those are individuals who will try their best to use their influence to continue the cycle of violence. So.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I always talk about when you're using the internet, consider the source. Where did that article come from? Who has an interest in you seeing or hearing that? When people get crazy messages or videos, a lot of videos in your Facebook inbox or your Instagram, direct messages, whatever, just consider the source. And who would want you twisted up, angry, or confused about something? Just don't take it at face value. I get a lot of people going, you need to forward this or put it on your page, and I'm always like, well, let me see, where did this come from?
Right.
Follow the money.
Right. Yeah, so there were people who were saying, because of his affiliation, because of where he was from, because of what it all represents, they were still stuck on the gangbanging tip. They were stuck on the tip like, we can't, really grieve for him like he's one of ours if he wasn't. And, it was the same thing that happened when Tookie was killed by the state of California. Of course, he was, one of the, I don't want to say founding members, but he was definitely one of the major influences of the Crips. And so there were people everywhere saying, why are you guys feeling sorry or feeling a certain kind of way? And it's the same thing. Someone of influence is someone of influence. And for me, their lives matter. Their lives are just as important as anyone else.
Well, it's like when there's a shooting. When there's a shooting and they say, well, the person was a gang member, as if that means they weren't a human being and we shouldn't mourn their loss, or they don't have rights. Okay, I don't agree with that. People are people, and I do believe life matters, A, and B, when you look at someone like Nipsey Hussle, you're talking about someone who actually was giving back very concretely.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, he was consistent with it.
Right.
Nipsey was consistent and on all levels, not just giving to people who came and asked him for handouts or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
And how can we even verify how many people he given $20 or bought a meal to? But just on the fact, like, wanting to change the school system when, as you guys talked about STEM earlier, as you talk about other things, Nipsey Hussle was doing things for the community that most community members just don't do. And number one is staying in the community. There's so many people who have moved out. So I just want to say for him to be building entrepreneurs and helping individuals. And he also crossed the color lines. He was, as I was looking at Facebook and Instagram, he was all over in the Grape Street neighborhood, which normally doesn't get along with Slauson and Crenshaw. He was in Compton a lot. He dealt with the Pyru. So, he didn't really care about what area someone was from. It wasn't about gangbanging. It was about really helping, or what could he do to help motivate them, or what could they do to help motivate him. So, a real good dude.
Well, the cover of the LA Times today says, deadly shooting of rapper Nipsey Hussle in South LA, likely gang-related. That's what they're saying.
Right. So, one of the things we do is rumor control is that, let's eliminate the rumors. So there is no one particular gang who's sitting around saying, today we're going to go get Nipsey. That's just not the case. So all it takes for anyone to say it's a gang-related homicide is for one or more of the individuals to be gang-related. But, this is more personal. When someone walks up like that, it's personal. And as I said, LAPD has video. They're
Gang
watching
related.
the video.
So you're saying that anything can be called gang related if those people are affiliated with a gang, but it could be a personal beef. It could be any kind of beef.
I'll give you a perfect example. When I first started doing this work, a young lady was sitting on her porch, and they said it was a gang-related homicide when she was shot. But as the community found out later, she got into it with her boyfriend. But because one or two of the individuals are gang-related, it is marked as a gang-related homicide. But to me, that's domestic violence. You know, when he killed his girlfriend.
And it's not, yeah, and what part of the importance of rumor control is when people say, well, he was in this set or whatever, then it can create other consequences that really don't have to happen.
Yeah, so, you know, even though Nipsey is tied into the community, Slauson and Crenshaw, he actually is investing in the community, Slauson and Crenshaw, that street, but that's the community member. That's not a gang member. He is a stakeholder in the community at that point. So, I mean, of course, people will go through his background and say, well, listen to his songs or look at who his friends are or whatever, but